Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It's the Hoop Talk crew, the same gang as usual. Episode 27. We appreciate y'all for tapping in this long, man. If you haven't already, I'm disappointed in you, but you gotta hit that join button. The Atleta Club is giving out a lot of free prizes throughout the year. You don't gotta pay a dime. All you gotta be is subscribed and as well as a member, and you might be selected to win something. What is our giveaway this month? I actually forgot. Do you remember off the top of your head?
Tell you right now.
While he finds that out, we'll do a recap, man. We gave away a Wilson Evolution basketball. We gave away 2 tickets to Aquatica, which now that the tournament got moved, I am going to purchase very soon. Once those are purchased, we are also going to give Andrew Gronigan his prize that he won as well, which was a BG 5000. So those Molten BG 5000, by the way, that's a basketball FIBA official ball. Olympics official ball. So those are some of the things that we've been giving away so far, and we have another giveaway in May, which we will announce later in the month, maybe next week, because I think we're going to be busy for the last weekend of the month. But Tyler, what's our giveaway for this month?
So for May, and actually I'll cover the next three to give you guys an idea. For this month, 2 tickets to Epperson Lagoon. It's a giant metro lagoon. You can bring the whole family. A lot of fun activities there. You can kind of sit out and swim if you just want. They have some like paddleboarding activities. They have a what is it called, a course that you can kind of go around. Drinks, of course, are also there, so you can check that out. But that's May. For next month, we have 1 ticket to Volcano Bay. Perfect time right in the summer. It's pretty much a half off ticket if you want to go with your partner because you don't have to worry about one of their tickets. $100 value. You only have to pay $5 to enter. Realistically, only $2. That's also a good deal. And then in July, we have basketball sneakers. We didn't decide on a specific one, so maybe we can kind of come back and we could talk about that, or we can talk about the recipient. But in July, we will be giving away basketball sneakers of some kind.
Well, I was thinking we let the recipient choose. I don't think we have to make it a specific
Yeah.
shoe. Just keep it basketball sneakers only, current, not no retro or any type of overly expensive shoe. Just to be very clear here, we're talking about shoes for you to
Off-white
hoop
Jordan
in.
ones.
Yeah, we're talking about you hooping right now with them. We're not talking about you going out there to showcase the new shoes you got for free. All right, so basketball shoes of your choice. I mean, at some point in the year, we're going to be giving out 2K27. Whenever that starts coming out, we're going to be doing NBA League Pass for the whole year, so you don't have to miss a single NBA game anymore. We're going to be giving out a lot of things throughout this year, mostly sports related for the most part, but then some things are also more, fun and for enjoyment purposes. So make sure you join the Atleta Club. Don't forget, got to be subscribed as well. So share with all your Hooper friends and family, or just any friends and family that you have. Let them know that the Atleta team is giving away some free stuff. All you gotta do is join us at the Atleta Club. Hit that join button somewhere around here. I don't know, wherever it is on your screen. But let's get on to some basketball talk. As usual, we got the Lambs. We haven't potted for a while due to some unfortunate series of events. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with 3 updates for the Kissimmee Lambs, our local professional basketball team, putting Central Florida on the map. Oh, there he goes. He's left gone already. They played 3 games since the last time we potted. Starting with, I think I put them in order. I want to say I did. Starting with a game versus a team that is calling themselves CYM. I don't exactly know what that means. Did anybody get a chance to look that up?
I'm trying to find it right now myself.
That's a no then. All right. Well, either way, they won that game 105 to 86. So whatever CYM means, they probably should change
Sorry,
it
I'm
because they
trying to
got
talk.
bunch of ass.
I keep accidentally doing this. They're creating young minds. They're the leopards.
Ah, interesting. That is a very intriguing name. Never heard of them. But it seems rightfully so. They got their aspect. So that was an unfortunate game for them. But luckily for our lucky Lambs, they were able to come out with the win. They were coming off of a bad. I don't know if they took a trip or not, but either way, they came off 2 bad games versus the Raleigh Firebirds, where they lost both. So they were able to bounce right back versus CYM, winning that game by 19. Am I doing that math right? What was the game that you looked up the stats for? I feel like you were just talking about stats. Was it that game?
No, it was was it? It was against the Liberty. Keith with 22 rebounds is kind of insane. I'm not gonna lie.
That's insane.
The game I was talking about, you were talking about with Melo, right? Where I was talking about, or
You said
not
Berto had
Melo, but
20?
Roberto.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roberto had a 24,
What was that team?
24 and 8 of 13 shooting. That was also Liberty.
Oh, that was
That was
Liberty.
just another Liberty game.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay, well, that's the last game we'll talk about, but we'll get to it here. This one we can breeze through because for the 100th time this year, the Kissimmmee Lambs and the Tampa Bay Titans is faced off. Excuse me, I apologize. And the Lambs were able to take that one. That was a close one, so that's definitely a game worth tuning into. Make sure y'all go check out TBL TV. I looks like that was a game worth tuning into, 103 to 102. That was a very close one. I would love to see what type of close was it. Was it close towards the end, or did the Titans just make a run at the end and cut it to one to finish off? I wonder what type of game. It would be cool if it was a back and forth. I'm going to ask and see if it's worth tuning into. You know, these TBL games be a little on the expensive side, you know. But then last but not least, which is the game we want to talk about, obviously, because one of our local legends had himself a good game. What is it? What city is this? I can't see.
Fayetteville, Liberty.
Fayetteville? How do you pronounce that? I've never known.
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville?
This is not a J. Cole fan. I could tell. This is not a J. Cole fan.
Fayetteville?
Not at all.
Oh man. No, I've always seen it, but I've never actually paid attention to the pronunciation of it. The Fayetteville Liberty, ladies and gentlemen, faced off against the Lambs, and that was their third win in a row, 100 to 89, an 11-point victory for the Lambs. So they've had themselves a really fun time in the TBL. Tyler, tell them about some of those performances that you looked up.
So really, the only one that I looked up for this game was Berto. Like, that is our guy, County. 24 points and 8 of 13 shooting is a great night, without a doubt.
He only played 24 minutes, too.
Yeah, 24. He's a Kobe fan, too. He even has 8 shots made for Kobe.
That's crazy.
That's funny. I don't know if he wears it for the Lambs, but he typically does wear number 24 as well.
He is number 24.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. Wait, just out of curiosity. Oh no, okay. First, I was trying to see what day was the game on. See if it was like May 8th or something. That would have been a crazy coincidence. You know what I mean? But that's
even
dope,
shot
though.
24%.
No, he didn't. That's crazy, man. But shout out to Berto, man. That's having himself a really good game. 24 points, 8 of 13. Yeah, that is a phenomenal performance. How many threes did he hit that game?
5 of 7.
5 of 7. Oh yeah, he was having himself.
Or no,
a night.
4 of 7. Sorry, 4 of 7.
Still
he shot
good.
57%.
Still good. 4 of 7. Yeah, that's a really good game, especially in the TBL. That is intense basketball to be played over there. So shout out to Berto. Is this the same game you were saying Keith had 20 rebounds though?
No, that was another game. That was who was that against? That was also against the Liberty, but it was the day before.
Wait, what?
22 rebounds is insane. They played the Liberty twice. The 15th and also was it the 16th? Yeah, 15th and the 16th.
Oh, I don't see. Where did you? Oh, I didn't have the 16th on there. Did they win the second time?
Yeah, they have it. It's right above it. They won.
No, I'm talking about.
And they won. They
No,
lost. The one where Berto had 24, they lost. The one with Keith, they won.
Oh, I'm looking at their Instagram. The May 15th, they won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was
then
trying to.
the 16th
I
they
was
lost.
trying to.
Oh, I was looking at their
Five
Instagram.
shots.
Okay, I see the confusion. Okay, yeah, on Instagram they only show results for one game. I understand now.
You don't gotta post if you lose.
Huh? They do post if they lose. They post if they lost against the Firebirds twice, back to back. What do you mean?
Oh, fair. Okay. Never mind, that makes more sense.
But that game was it's the 16th you said, right? So that was yesterday. Oh yeah, I'm surprised. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm surprised they didn't post about it. Okay, I get it now. I understand the confusion. So I didn't know they played them twice. Okay, so they lost one of them. They lost the 16th. Okay.
Yep.
What was the score
1-1.
for that one?
The 16th was 122 to 118.
122 to 118. Okay, so close game.
Went to
competitive.
overtime, it looks like, as well.
Damn.
Yeah, it went to overtime.
And now
It might have gone to multiple overtimes, though, because they had 19 points and 23 points in overtime.
That's crazy.
it could have. Overtime is probably 5 minutes. You could score 23 to 19 in 5 minutes. Well, that's a lot.
You could,
That's a
but
lot of points, nah.
Yeah.
I want to give you an idea. Their highest scoring quarter was the second quarter, 34-25, 29-24, 15-21, 21-29. I think that might have been multiple overtimes.
Yeah, it could have been. It
That sounds
definitely
like
could
a
have been.
fun game.
Yeah, well, shout out to the Lambs though for going on a 3-1 streak there after losing two back-to-back games versus the Firebirds. The Lambs actually the first in their division in the TBL, finishing I believe I don't know if I'm right or wrong here, but I think the regular season is finished. I think they're currently 10-3. Maybe they have a game or two left. I'm not 100% sure.
They got a game on the 23rd of next week.
Oh yeah, I am getting my days mixed up. For some reason, I'm in the headspace that it's later in the month. What I don't know what I'm going. Happening up here? I don't know. I don't get it. They're
Yeah.
10-3 right now. They should have a couple more games for sure. But I do know the playoffs start in June. So as of right now, they're the first in their division, and the next team up is pretty close. They're 10-3. The Firebirds are 11-4. Um, so it's a pretty close race. I guess it depends on how the season ends for the Firebirds and the Lambs, but the Lambs have a real opportunity here to finish the season as the first seed of their division. So crossing our fingers as that works out. As we've said, they're putting Central Florida basketball on the map, getting players
It
paid.
was a double OT, by the way.
It was? Where'd you find it?
Yep. On SofaScore.
Oh, okay. Where were you looking at it
So
before?
we have a SofaScore, but you have to go back to look at the box score and then scroll down.
It shows the calendar on there. Yeah.
Have a 76% win rate.
Yeah. They're doing really good in the TBL, man. They're doing really good in the TBL, which kind of brings me to a little bit of a segue. I was given some feedback that sometimes we're not hard enough on people as we should be. So I'm going to go ahead and take that feedback in and do it right now because perfect segue about a team that's doing well in the TBL or versus TBL teams, let's put it that way. A team that is not doing as hot versus TBL teams, however, has been the Florida Flight, who just played, I believe, the Titans again. I don't know who they played the first time, but they played the Titans this time, and it was not a good game. It was not a good game. But by the words of my good friend Jermaine Johnson, he said, "What the fuck is going on over there in Florida?" I was like, "All right, what do you mean? Like, what does that mean? We are in Florida right now." And then he proceeded to explain, like, we're all in Florida. Everybody you're chatting with right now is in Florida. So you gotta elaborate a little bit more. But he was the one that brought it to our attention that the Flight did not have a very good game. It was about a 45 point deficit. The Flight very injured right now. Yeah, the Flight very injured right now. Tyler Rodrigue injured, which I believe he got injured at the OBL, right? You guys were there for that?
So I have a story behind that injury. That injury was a persistent injury that's been an injury for him. This was cited by, I think, Coach. I think Coach told me. So he just took care of it finally. But it's been something that's been hindering him for a while. But I think he re-aggravated it and he was like, fuck it, let me just do surgery. I think that's exactly how Coach drew it out for me. And Braylon also was dealing with an injury as well. If he's part of the Flight as well, he's been dealing with.
He's back now though.
Oh, he's back.
He's playing. Braylon's been playing with the Flight for these games.
Oh, they have stats, or you just saw the game?
Yeah, they have stats.
What?
Yeah.
Send those to me. I
Where the stats at?
didn't know that.
On SofaScore.
What?
Really?
I didn't know that. Wow. I guess I didn't realize that it was an official TBL orchestrated game. I thought they were more like just kind of exhibitions, but now it does make sense that they would still do the whole works for it. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Braylon 24-4 one game. Ron Burr 17-5-4, 3 steals, 8 turnovers.
Yeah, Ron Burr has been playing, but he is not 100%. That is something that was mentioned to me. So he's technically still in that pool of players that they have that are injured. Dom Douglas had a pretty bad injury as well. I don't know what his timetable is on a return. And then, like I said, Tyler Rodrigue, Bulb is also
What's
injured.
his injury? What's Dom Douglas' injury?
I can't remember. I feel like I have a memory in my head, but it's that type of memory where you're not actually sure if it's true or not. So I feel like I should not even say it out loud because my brain
Okay.
could have
Because
just made it up.
we talk too negatively about him. We call him old too much, and I don't want to
Yeah,
also
facts.
release a fake injury. I would feel
Yeah.
terrible.
That's why I said it was a bad injury. I can at least remember that it was a bad one, but I don't want to say, oh, he tore his ACL, and then next thing you know, that's an
Oh
exaggeration
man,
of what
He
actually
fucked this
happened.
shit up.
Right.
That's the best way to
So,
say it. He fucked something
we
up.
could have picked any other
right.
injury. Now you go for the killer.
Yeah, I don't know what his injury was off the top of my head. I do forget, but he's injured. Tyler Bulb. Ron is playing, but he's not 100%, so he's out there, you know, doing his best. Obviously, maybe he should take some rest. 8 turnovers, you know, sounds like a bit of a struggle out there. Um, but the flight did not fare well in the TBL. Now, I haven't had the personal pleasure to watch the Titans much in the TBL, so I don't know what their roster looks like. But I'm curious, based on what you guys know about the Florida flight, honest opinions here. How do you think they would fare against the TBL?
Well, they
I think
played
it'd be rough.
already. The Tampa Bay and the Florida Flight played. Tell you
No,
that
he's
much.
saying with their full roster. They have a lot of their guys. They have Nelms. They got Nicholas Troy. They got Kapoor. They got Burr. They got Pickens. I don't think that they get blown out by 40 though, if they have everybody or 37 in both games. I don't think that happens with both of the guys. But I don't know because from what I saw watching a few games with the Kissimmmee Lambs, these guys are bigger. Like they're bigger and they're
Yeah,
faster
that's exactly what I was
than
gonna
like what
say.
we're used to.
Yeah, like a point guard in these leagues is a real 6'1", 6'2". It's not, like Dom's not. I mean, Dom might be 6 foot. That's me. That's pushing. But he might be
What?
6 foot.
I
I
would
don't
just
think,
randomly. Why did you bring
Oh,
up
bro.
Donovan?
you think he's pushing 6 foot? Dom Douglas?
He's like 6'1".
He's like
I don't
six
think
one,
so. I'm
six
6'1".
two. Dom is not short, bro. What are you saying? You think he's pushing 6 foot?
I
You
need to bring out a
No,
freaking
Pluto. You have
a
a bad
real thing
perception of
that's
height. You have a bad perception of height.
no. I'm 6'1", bro. Like clinically in a hospital, I'm 6'1". With shoes, I'm 6'3", 6'4". But I'm clinically
We're
six
talking about
one.
with
Dom is
shoes.
not taller than me.
Not 6'4".
We only
Not
see
6'4".
people with shoes.
Ah,
I
man.
I've
Yeah,
never
I've
I've
never
never asked Dom to
understood.
take his shoes off for me.
I've never understood the whole with shoes thing. It's like nobody's playing barefoot, so who cares? That's the measurement that matters because you always have your fucking shoes on. Like, what does it matter? So like
You
Dom's
guys will never see my toes.
he's not pushing 6 feet. Like that's giving the impression that he could be 5'11" or 5'10". That's kind of the impression you're giving.
That's
He
that's
But he's
that's what
playing
I'm
towards my
saying. That's
height.
what I'm leading towards. I'm not
nah,
not
he's
fighting that impression. That is the impression I'm saying. But
nah,
regardless, that's not what I'm
you're
saying. I'm
bugging.
saying they are smaller, regardless of the fact that a lot of the teams are smaller. Sean Kapoor would even be like a power forward in this league typically because he's a smaller dude. He's 6'5", 6'4". I'm pretty sure Sean Kapoor is maybe 6'6". I'll give him that. But they don't have a lot of height, and when these teams both their forward and center position usually are like you see a Keith, a 6'8", 6'10" dude, and you have another 7 footer on your team, you're gonna be smaller off the dribble, off the boards. You're gonna have problem getting boards. And if I'm not even looking at the stats, if I just know it, I bet you they're getting beat on the boards, 100%. I know they're getting beat on the boards. I don't even have to like judge it.
You think so?
I'm pretty sure they're getting at least by 10 digits each game.
What if I told you they only got one more rebound?
They still got beat.
No, 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 no! Don't do that.
Nah.
You were wrong. And tell the world you were wrong. Don't do that. They got beat by
They
one
got beat
rebound.
by one rebound, one game, and then 7 on the other.
Getting beat on the boards.
They're doing if they only got beat by one rebound, they're doing just fine. Rebounding's not the issue. That one rebound didn't just lose you the game. Like,
So what's the issue then?
Really, their issue
don't
is,
have
I would say, their
scores.
3-point shooting.
yeah, they have no
They're
scores, and they're missing two of their best 3-point shooters. So like, if not the best 3-point shooters on the team, probably. Not probably. They
Yeah.
are. I'm trying to think. There is nobody on that team that can shoot better than Dom
How do you guys think?
and Tyler.
How do you guys think Tyler would do in a TBL setting? Do you think he would still be?
I think
the
Tyler
same
would
Tyler's a
do
great
just.
player.
I think Tyler would do just as good as Berto is doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're great players.
Like he's gonna have some games where he
probably-
has 6, 8 points, but they're gonna look good. You know what I mean? They're gonna be good shots. He's gonna shoot well. He might give him 15 once, twice, and he's gonna have a 20-point game once or twice. You know what I mean? Like it's I think that's about it. Now I will say it always does depend on the team though, because Birdo is on a team where he wasn't put on the team for the sake of taking a lot of shots. So that's a factor. I think if you give Birdo more shots, he would definitely score more. I'd say if Tyler ends up on a team that asks him to take more shots, I think Tyler could easily score anywhere from 18 to 22 points per game, depending on what the league looks like.
Yeah, I think you'll see him struggle a little bit more because I think with the way his team is built compared to the Lambs, they have a lot more firepower to kind of rely on. You can kind of centralize your focus on Tyler at times.
Yeah,
I think that's where you would see an issue.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the Flight have lost 2. There is 2 other games that aren't here. So I don't know. There's one on the 10th and then one on the 16th. I'll come back and kind of check.
over here trying to find fucking Dom Douglas's height because now it's bothering me. I was thinking about using GM5, but that's not
GM5.
That's not a reliable source.
With lights.
They got a man's name completely wrong on the GM5.
Josh Barenbaum. God damn it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What was his name originally?
Josh Benneker.
Benneker.
Man. So old different guy.
Crazy.
He does hoop like Josh Benneker. He sounds like Josh Benneker at the GM5. At the OBL, he droops like, what's the other guy's name? Joshua.
The other guy?
I don't know.
Josh Berneman, whatever his name is. That one dude. The guy whose name was messed up. What's his name? Like when we figured out his real name.
Barenbaum.
Yeah, he plays like Barenbaum in the OBL. He plays like Benacourt in the GM5. For sure.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand what you're saying.
I feel like he plays differently in the GM5. Maybe that was just a me thing, man. Bum bum bum. I'll take that out.
Yeah, I was next level confused. I'm not gonna lie. For a second there, it sounded like you're talking about 2 different people. That's what it sounded like for a second there.
That was the whole point of the joke.
They got Dom as 6'3", by the way.
He's not 6'3", but I think we have to accept, Pluto. You have a bad perception of height. Like you really do. I don't think you notice how tall people are standing next to you. Like that's been a thing. Like you have to be willing to accept you have had a trouble realizing people are taller
I feel like
than they
people
seem.
lie about their heights as well, though, bro. I think it's an equal thing.
I've seen Don Douglas stand next to you. He's not 3 inches shorter than you. Like he's just not. Like 3 inches is a significant chunk.
He would be 2 inches shorter than me.
And you're saying
he's like 5'11".
No, he's not 5'11". He's not 2 inches. 2 inches is a big chunk of height. Like if anything, he's 6 foot. That's what I would imagine. And with shoes on, he's 6'2".
A tape measure this next year for the GM5. I promise you on my mind.
That
is going to be a segment.
You have a bad perception. Now the thing is, we're only an inch apart from what each other thinks, regardless. But
yeah, we are.
he's not under 6 feet. That's something that I'm willing to put money on. He's not under 6 feet. He just isn't.
I think I'm gonna bring a tape measure next year.
I
think we're gonna have. I think I'm gonna win a lot of money. And I'm making people take their shoes off. I'm not measuring them with their shoes on.
No. Then we're not doing
That's
this.
crazy.
Then you're not betting.
That's not fair. The FDA makes them take their shoes off,
and they still list them with their shoes on.
Yeah. KD is 6'11".
Why do I care how tall he is with his shoes off? Why would that concern me? I'm not his personal close friend. I'm not here to hang out with him at the beach where he's barefoot.
I'm not playing with his toes, bro.
Like, what the fuck? I'm trying to...
I don't need him to take his shoes off.
This is called hoop talk, not foot talk, all right? We're not here to... we're not here for all that.
Bro's got a fetish he's trying to put on us.
That's my next endeavor.
That's why you're paying attention to the shoes.
Starting the foot channel on our YouTube.
Moving on, though, man.
A fiend for feet.
Moving on to the next topic, though. We apologize, y'all. That rant went a little longer than expected. But listen, we've come to notice Pluto can't perceive height the way that we perceive height. He sees it differently. But we're just gonna have to have this discussion every week. Every week there's gonna be a player. Yeah, he has a thing for toes. That's the summary of the podcast. Pluto has a foot fetish.
Oh man, I'm always getting these weird ass titles. No,
just wait.
I have a foot fetish.
You're the one that didn't let it go.
Just wait till
If
you see.
someone at the OPL next week comes up to me and puts their foot on me, one of you
Listen,
guys are
just
gonna fight me.
just wait till you see the YouTube video today. Just wait till you see the YouTube video.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some
Put
fun.
foot in his mouth.
Did anybody know? Did anybody recognize my thumbnails from when Tyler was sick that one week, and then the next week?
Yeah.
Did anybody?
Rip.
Yeah, I noticed.
I look so great.
It was so funny.
He looked like he was dead. I was like, yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah, he said it too in the podcast. I'm dead. I just want to get this shit over with.
Yeah, just wait
All right,
till you
let's
see
come
the
back.
thumbnail
We
for this
talking
one.
too much about me.
All right, OBL though. OBL recap, ladies and gentlemen. The OBL is in their playoffs. This is season 2 playoff round 1, where we had the Hitmen going up against the Tsunami, and the Hitmen were able to take that win. Any noticeable moments for that game you guys feel like you want to shout out?
That game was hilarious. Brian or B Rich was going at everybody. I thought he was gonna make it happen though, because at one point he turned to us. He's like, "All we need is one stop, and we're back in this." And they got one stop, and they brought it within 4.
Yeah,
after
they
being
did
down
that
almost
back.
20 for majority of the match. Like I
Yeah.
genuinely thought that they were about to bring that back. But
Yeah.
Hitman, the Alex dude is really nice on Hitman.
He's tough.
Yeah. Drop 50. Supposedly, he dropped 50.
I wholeheartedly believe it. I don't think I saw anybody else score at one point. He also doesn't pass, but he does shoot. So I don't blame
That
him.
is very true. He does not like to pass the ball. Well, he doesn't think about passing the ball. I don't think he doesn't not like passing the ball. He's a good teammate. I will say that. But I think what stuck out to me is T time being T time. I mean, I think I get caught up. I get caught up with the semantics of like how he shoots and how he can really break people down and things like that. But I don't really think I take accountability to the serious side of basketball. He's not a bad teammate and he holds his teammates accountable. But even more, he's a willing passer. Like he's a more than willing passer. And I think that's a really dope part of his game. And I know people just see T time and just see a lot of loud, heroic basketball, but he's not that bad at the smart side of basketball either. Another person I wanted to shout out, really, it was on the other team. I don't know his name, and I hate this because then you guys get on me because I'm shouting him out. But it was the guy with the gray Oregon shirt. He wore it the whole time. Who hurt his tooth?
His teeth. I
Yeah,
think his
he
name
had.
is. I forgot. I'm not gonna say it. I think it's.
Yeah, we also don't get the list of names that well much. But at the end of the day, he had an amazing game with B Rich. He was hitting a lot of shots. He had a lot of really, really clutch baskets for them. Kind of helped them get back into the game. And kind of like with B Rich, he kind of was talking shit out there with B Rich. And then you had the older bald headed dude I never saw play in the league at all, but I guess he was on
Yeah.
that team too. Uh
With the gray sweats.
yeah. He
Yeah, I
had a
never saw a man in my life.
he just was not playing any defense at all. I just wanted to noted that he did not run to the corners and stop anybody when it was a 4-on-4, but 4-on-5 because the game was 4-on-5 at one point.
He's
Like the
very
game was
preoccupied with the
4-on-5.
score though.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
It's like how do you
was
care
some
about the
bullshit
score so
coming.
much when you're not contributing to it? You know what I mean? Like what the hell?
Nothing.
Like, I don't know what game it was.
Ended up in the playoff game.
I don't know what game it was. I don't know if it was the OBL or actually the OBL is the only thing we're doing right now. But there was a game that we did. It wasn't that one though. But there was a game that we did where somebody was worried about the score. I'm like, bro, why are you guys so worried about the score? You need to be worried about scoring. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
I think it was the chosen ones.
it may have been. I don't know what game it was,
I
but
thought
yeah.
it was a Stampede versus one team versus the Ducks.
No, that was. Oh, was it? I don't know. I feel like it was OBL, but either way, yeah, that was. B Rich was funny though to tag on to that conversation. He's always been that way. I met B Rich the first time at RDV, and he was just lights out. I was like, what the fuck is that, old man? Like, why all these Caucasian motherfuckers can shoot? Like, why is that just a skill you have? Like, how does that work?
Hey.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's in our genetics.
how does that work? Like, I don't get it. But he's
We
always
either
been that
pass
way.
very well or we could shoot. We just get one of those genes.
Uh-huh.
I have neither.
Unless you're Steve Nash, you can get both.
Facts, actually, because he's Canadian.
If you're Stephen Curry, you get
He has
both
2
too.
chances.
Yeah, you did.
And my White King, Stephen Curry.
But yeah,
This
he's
is the black Stephen Curry. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that.
B Rich has always been funny though. Shout out to him though. He can hoop. You know what I mean? For being
I haven't seen someone shoot like him. I'm not gonna lie. Like we talk about Luke and everybody, B Rich is a crazy shooter as well.
He
He
is.
has to be up there.
He
He
is
is.
100%.
He has range.
He is. He can
He's
shoot.
He
he's
has range.
he's disgusting. He's disgusting. It's disgusting because the way he shoots, bro, is he's jumping into his shots a lot of the time. He's one of those shooters that likes to jump into his shot, but he's jumping into like a 29 footer, a 27 footer. He's shooting from like damn near passing the half court line. He's letting it go consistently. And if you piss him off, it's like something that it makes him play better, bro. It just makes him play
Super
better. And I love
competitive.
players like
Yeah,
that.
he hates when his teammates just kind of like relax and
Oh
then
yeah, yeah.
they kind of sit back. He hates that. I
He talks
I
worse
like
shit
a
to
competitor
his
like him.
teammates not playing defense than the dudes on the side, like than the other team. To be honest with you, Tyler.
We gotta hide Pluto from him because by the end of the season, B Rich might say something to Pluto.
Nah, B
That might
Rich
help
loves
things
me.
go.
B Rich
we
loves
gotta we
me.
gotta we gotta protect our guy.
B Rich loves me. I'm good. I'm safe. I'll just never play
That
with
was
him.
the first game.
And then second game we have Phantom Force versus the Martians. Another game that got out of the Martians' hands, unfortunately. But any moments that you guys want to talk about?
Oh wait, I'll kind of talk about it. One of these guys we're gonna see again on a different team from
Oh,
the Martians.
what's
We're
his
gonna see a
name?
repeat player. I don't know. Damn, I need to figure it
I don't
out.
know his name, but literally, I asked him. I remember I asked that dude.
I'll be
I
back.
on the second game he played before we get
Solo.
started. Oh, what happened?
That's his name. Solo.
Solo? Okay, yeah. So Solo, I go, Solo, so weren't you playing yesterday? He's like, yeah. I was like, you're playing today on this team too? He's like, yeah. I'm like, so you're on two teams? He's like, no. I'm like, wait, what? What? How are you not on two teams? You're playing on both back to back days. But for the love of the game, right? For the love of the game. Gotta
They
do it
got
where
listen. On the Rise turned up the entire Phantom Force team after they stopped Josh Berenbaum from being able to post up. We saw him in full glory against
that
the
was a
Martians.
crazy
They
dub. I
had nothing
forgot
for
they
him.
did that. I forgot they did that.
They got in his head by telling him to
Yeah.
post up every time. Like that was that's such a weird
You
situation.
love that. You love
That
it.
game,
Go stop,
that
go
game was
stop.
that game was so weird. He's
Nah, I
like, yeah,
think it was one of the Wiley
I'm gonna
brothers.
go to my move. It was Drew.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to my move that keeps working. I'm not gonna stop it. But like it works.
yeah.
He stopped going to his move.
Did we change moves? I mean, did we change games?
No,
I
we're
was still
talking
talking about the
about
same game. Post up,
how
post up.
Phantom Force came back from the week before whenever Drew kept telling Josh to post up and like mentally it worked because he really wasn't posting up as much. This game he went right back into the post. He got active, as people
Yeah,
say.
he did. Yeah, yeah. That's just. I
He got
wanted to
active.
shout out Pink. Pink also played in the OBL.
He
I
played
never.
on this
We
team.
forgot to. Yeah, we forgot to mention it. He made them have five.
Or no, he played
He-
on the game before. The game before. He
yeah,
played on
yeah,
the Elite
yeah. I forgot to
Guardians.
mention that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. But
Yep.
last
For the
thing I want to
tsunami.
mention, the Wiley brother that you said kind of set up the Phantom Force to kind of be better. He had a crazy game that game too. I think he dropped like 34 points or 35 points that game off the 3-point line.
Drew,
But
yeah. Oh
yeah,
no, I'm talking about Drew.
no, I'm talking about the middle brother. That same game, he had a crazy ass game. But
Yeah, he
to
did.
to get back on the actual playoff game, I mean, that was listen. The Martians had no business being in that damn game at all from the beginning. It was never close. It never became close. It didn't look good. So yeah, shout out to Phantom Force for coming back with their whole team this time and not three people and
The only
another
thing
guy.
that could have been worse is if they had to play the Chosen Ones. That would have been the only thing that I could see that's worse.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out Ethan though. Shout out Ethan. I know you watch. Shout out. That's kind of ends it. Also Bullet.
Speaking of the Wiley brothers, though, we did have the Wiley brothers in action. For some reason, I have this listed as on the Russ instead of on the Rise. I don't know how that happened.
It's a Russell Westbrook fan in the making right there.
Excuse me. On the Rise faced off against the Crusaders, ladies and gentlemen. ISO John's team versus the Wiley trio, and it was a hectic game to say the least. I want to point out though. Oh damn! I wish I would have. I wish. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take the time out. Fuck it. I'm gonna take the time out. Let's see. Hopefully, it populates on my phone real quick. There was a bit of a discussion over a call. Um, Apparently, not everybody at the OBL understands how basketball works. All right, so here's the scenario that we're gonna
Around
paint.
timeouts.
Here's the scenario that we're gonna paint for everybody, and I hope everybody at the OBL watches this, specifically you, ISO John. If not, I'm gonna clip it and you're gonna watch. I'm gonna tag you. We're gonna collaborate. I'm gonna put it on your page. All right.
On TikTok. On TikTok.
I just want to make sure everybody understands. All right. So ISO John attempted to save the ball successfully. Really, if you think about it, he did successfully stay in bounds. We watched the replay. He did stay in bounds to catch the ball. He called the timeout and they granted it to him. Now, here's one thing that I will say, a caveat is by professional basketball rules, if a timeout is granted, a timeout must be given. So that's neither here nor there. That was the referee's fault. The timeout was granted, however, the timeout was not given. They took it away, saying that he was out of bounds. However, he was not out of bounds. The point that they were trying to make is that he saved it and called a timeout in the air. Let me go ahead and read something to you guys very quickly so you understand why I believe that was the incorrect call. Whether you can call a timeout while you're flying out of bounds with a loose ball depends on the league and specific rules. But generally, in most high-level organized basketball, you cannot call a timeout while your momentum is carrying you out of bounds. This is not Nas speaking. I'm reading this off of the internet. The rules emphasize that you must have control of the ball and not be in the process of going out of bounds, which is what I tried to tell them. Nobody wanted to listen to that, though. And they decided to argue their own cause and figure out what the real situation was. Meanwhile, there's nothing to argue. He can't get a timeout, ladies and gentlemen. He's not allowed to get a timeout. What have you ever seen a basketball player in the fucking air just say timeout, timeout, timeout? Like, you think they got time for that? They got to worry about bracing themselves for a fall.
Even 1 foot, you got to get 2 feet down. Two.
Yeah.
You cannot be.
You have to be stable. You have to be in a stable position where the ref can look at you and identify timeout. You can't identify timeout with someone going backwards. And you don't know what this. It can look crazy.
You can't. The crazy thing is, though, you just can't be going out of bounds. If you're tipping the opposite direction, they'll give you the timeout because you would have been inbounds one way or another. But you're tipping towards out of bounds. You're actually not tipping anywhere. You're in the air. Your whole body is out of bounds. You just haven't landed out of bounds yet. So, like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Nobody wanted to listen to me, but you know me, I'm not gonna argue back and forth. This, I got a toddler to argue with when I get home. I ain't got time to argue with grown people. You know what I mean? So I let it go. I let them make whatever call. I think they called it. I think they did give him the timeout. I don't know. What was the final decision? I don't remember.
No, they didn't because they came back to watch the clip. Remember?
Yeah, which I didn't understand because when I watched it, he looked like he was in bounds. So I don't understand why they didn't give it to him based on their standards or their perspective of the rules. But regardless, that wasn't enough. On the Rise was able to edge out that win, and ISO John's team was eliminated for the first round.
No, On the Rise lost, I'm pretty sure.
On the Rise won.
No, ISO John lost.
Yeah, ISO John lost.
Really?
That's why he was talking so much shit the next game.
Wait, what? This whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way.
Yeah, look it up. You have the recordings on your computer.
You were there, Tyler.
You were also there, correct. That is also factual.
I'm the one with the bad memory.
You still are.
Bleep that out.
I don't edit nothing. This goes straight on YouTube as soon as it's over. I don't edit a thing. But yeah, you saw it?
Yep. I missed that shot right there. Yep, you're right. Wow, I'm so stupid.
Drew had a good game, though. I believe Drew was scoring a lot that game, wasn't he?
Drew had a couple good games.
Oh, no.
Drew had the same issue.
The shooter, that motherfucker went off.
24.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that dude went
24
off.
24 was insane.
He hit 4.
Ever since they added him on the team, though, they've been way better.
He hit 4 threes in the second half to start the game. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Then he missed one and probably hit another 2 back-to-back. I was like, oh, my God, what is happening here?
After not hitting any threes in the first half.
After not doing anything the first half.
Off of threes. Yeah.
That was insane.
Drew had that issue we were talking about where one thing I want to see Drew work on is I want to see him get back to shooting a lot more often. I don't I feel like he kind of lost his shot in this league specifically. Because even when I saw him with the Ox League just recently, when you guys had the Vipers, he had that mid range game. He was knocking down those shots. But I don't know if he's kind of changed some things up, or he's kind of playing differently. But he's primarily looking to get to the hole now. I don't really see him taking too many shots.
I think he sees a
I
lot of
think it's
players
also
that are not, his
yeah.
size, so he thinks he can take advantage of it. Which I mean, it's not the wrong decision, but like having a little mix of both could definitely suit him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll open up his inside game more because there's not many people his size that can keep up with how quick he is.
Yeah, he's
So
super
they're
quick
gonna
for
have
his
to play
size.
up on you to not really give you an opportunity to shoot, or I'm sorry, play back because they're not gonna be able to recover quick enough. So you have a ton of this open space to shoot. I want to see him shoot more. I think he should.
Yeah, I agree. I think he
Be right
should
back just
shoot.
1 second.
When
He's
I
low key the facilitator of that team, though, in a way, like at times, because he's playing with a bunch of shooters, so he has to like kind of drive and kick to kind of give them an opportunity to get open shots, and that's because they're not setting plays to each other to open up or nothing like that. They're literally just driving and kicking every time.
Yeah, when I met Drew for the first time, I thought I recognized him as a shooter. That was the thing that stood out. But it's a little on the inconsistent side. It's definitely something that he wants to take time out to really take as many shots as possible. And honestly, a lot of players need to consider doing that, not just from shots, but just whatever it is you practice, whatever it is you're trying to do better at. Like, if y'all hoopers that are actually taking it seriously, y'all gotta focus on repetition more than anything. And I think same thing for
Yeah,
Drew. For a shot to kind of be more consistent, he has to focus on the repetition of it. Um, Repetition first, and game action second. You know what I mean? And then it's gonna kind of gradually improve through there. But he's not as consistent of a shooter as he was when I first kind of encountered Drew on the Vipers, and obviously that was my first time ever meeting him because I'm not actually from Volusia County, contrary to popular belief. Um, but yeah, I agree with Tyler. He's been pretty inconsistent as a shooter.
Not even from America, call ice.
What you just
man,
say?
you heard him.
Don't say anything.
No, my goodness. All right, well, moving on to the next game. Or the last game of the first round was the Guardians versus the Renegades, where a player has returned from a previous stint with another team in the playoffs. We don't quite know the name, but he
He was a
was,
Martian, from what I remember, out of this world.
but
Hey,
he was able to. They won that game, right? For some reason, I didn't put it on there. Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks to him, maybe they were able to beat the Renegades. The Elite Guardians were. And advance to the second round. Any noticeable moments from that game that you guys would like to discuss?
Listen, everybody wanted to fight Vinci at one point. Like toward the
And
end of
then
that
Vinci
game,
wanted to fight everybody.
yeah, I don't blame him. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's fair that the Renegades get knocked out this way. I really don't think that's fair.
I don't think so either.
Like I they did play bad. Don't get me wrong. They could have played a lot better. Ricks looked amazing. Jerome, he was kind of their star player for this. But you know, I just don't think it's fair to lose the game where the other team should have forfeited. I don't think that's right. Like to be knocked
Yeah,
out the playoffs for this.
yeah, I do agree. But I think in a scenario, if you're Vaughn in this scenario, it's a tough decision to make. You know what I mean? Like you're just trying to get your league to take off. You're just trying to get your lead to keep going, and a forfeit is never a good look. I've seen worse things done to avoid forfeits. You know what I mean? So it's a tough decision to be in and a tough choice. What's funny? Now that I say the word choice, it reminds me of something because I know we were talking about Vaughn and how we feel like he needs to step in or be more vocal about these situations. And we were, or I saw a quote. Michael Beasley actually said something kind of relates to it. He said, um, we judge people's decisions without even knowing what their choices were, and I feel like it's the same thing. Kind of with Vaughn right now, it's like we talk about how Vaughn can make better decisions in these situations. Possibly that's our opinion, but you don't know what the choices could impact him. You know what I mean? Like if he chooses to have a team forfeit, you know what I mean? How is that team going to react? Does he lose ties now because that team is upset? we've seen stuff like that happen in the GM5. You know what I mean? Like one decision causes friction now, and now there's problems. Now everybody's talking about negativity. You know, it's like it's hard to choose in these moments because you're he's thinking ahead. At least that's what my perception is, right? I don't know. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If he's thinking ahead, how giving this team a forfeit could impact the overall aspect of his league. You know?
I think he should make the decision because I think having integrity around your decisions around your league is going to be more valuable. I don't think anybody from Elite Guardians would have left and not came back um had they have been, forfeited like they should have. I think he had a
Yeah,
pretty good relationship with a lot of the guys on that team. A lot of them were coming up to them, talking to him. I think it would have been a lot more fair.
Yeah, I could agree. I'm on your side of it. I'm just kind of trying to put myself in his shoes, and I think it's a harder decision. But I am on your side. I think ultimately, yes, it's the playoffs. I think in the regular season, you allow teams to get away with one or two, or just one. But in the playoffs, it's like whatever. You know what I mean? If your guys weren't ready to suit up, then let's go home. Let's call it a night. F it.
Yeah, playoffs are here. That's you knew when the playoffs were. These playoffs, they did get kind of moved around, but not very much from what I saw. Like everyone kind of knew we have the same set schedules every 2 days, and I understand people work, but other people work too. Can't accommodate everyone.
You know. Listen, and
So in my head, the Guardians are gone.
it's not unheard of to win a game, 4 versus 5 either. I'm just saying it's not unheard of. We've witnessed it happen. I think in the GM5, and I have been a part of a team that lost 5 versus 4. You know what I mean? We were the team with five.
man.
Oh God!
Yeah,
Wow,
Wait,
that's an awkward conversation. That
yeah,
is
tell me
an
that story real
awkward
quick.
ass
Let's hear that
conversation after the
story.
game.
yeah. Me and my friends went on joined a rec league one time. Um, which overall we did pretty well actually. Now I remember those were fun times, reminiscent. But that game we did not. It was just a lot of bullshit, and a lot of arguing back and forth, a lot of not focus on the right thing. And I think the fact that they had 4 players got in our head because we made it. It heightened every mistake we made. It made it feel worse. You know what I mean? It's like, how stupid can we be? Like, how do we still get a turnover when we have an extra player to pass to? You know what I mean? Like, it's you know, how do you not get a rebound when we have one more player than they do on the court? Like, you know, like all that stuff starts tightening. So yeah, we lost that game, 5 versus 4. We 100% lost, to the point where I think we may have even had subs, everything. Like it's crazy.
How much do you think they beat you by? Was it over 10?
No, it was a
That,
close
that
game.
makes
They hit a game winning shot.
Okay, good.
They hit a game winning shot.
Okay, because if it was over 10, they were probably leading for most of that. That's even
I remember it like it was yesterday. We were leading for the most part, and then we weren't locked in at the end. I remember like it was yesterday. We were supposed to I think we were supposed to not switch anything because we had an extra man playing defense, and one of our players just did not listen and decided to switch, which threw off another player who was listening and was not switching, and then left the man wide open. Boom, game winner. That's how it works.
That's crazy.
Let's go back
That's
to a happier
crazy.
subject then, because this
That's
brings up
so
some memories
sad.
from nice.
Yeah, but that
I
was
saw
it.
you can't see it from here, but a tear just dropped out his eye.
Yeah, dude. I kind of see it glistening right now.
Those were fun times though, man. I want to look. I want to look that league up, see if they still do it. It was called Respect the Ref, believe it or not. I don't think they do it
Sector rep.
anymore because the people who organized it are referees. Um, but either way, that was the last game of the first round for the OBL Guardians beat the Renegades. Did anything else interesting happen? Was that it? Really, just the fact that that guy
Just
played
the Josiah. Just I mean the
Hosea.
Hosea, the Hosea debacle. This is because I mean we're talking about things and ways to improve, right? I think this next year, and I think I harped it at Vaughn. I mean at Vaughn all year, but he needs to have a set ref who doesn't play in the league, who has no say so, an unbiased opinion ref, because you could tell that he had some beef with that team even before the game started. um,
Yeah, because it
yeah,
happened. Because even when we used to watch Marcus Pringle, he also would be kind of biased sometimes as a ref. Like it's gonna happen if you play.
yeah, so I don't think you should have active players refing other players' games. I think it's not fair. I think that's where the problem happens. But also, like, you have a guy who you had to kick out of your league, reffing your league. Then he came back and then quit on your league, and he's still reffing your league. Like, I don't know. I just don't like the partnership there. I like him as a person. I think he's just a really passionate guy. At the end of the day, I mean, he's a young man. He still has a lot of umph in him. So I get where his passion comes from, but that was the most unprofessional thing about anything. It's just how that whole situation was handled. He tried to tech a guy up twice and kick him out the game, and it was the same guy who was making fun of him because he couldn't card Ricks. It was just too many things that connected for him to
The
like
crazy
ref the
part is
game
though
that
he's
way.
not refing incorrectly. That's the thing. He's not refing incorrectly. Now he made a bad call here and there, but like every referee does. It doesn't matter how much money you pay them. They're all gonna make some
No, it
calls
was
that
the
we hate.
emotional side for
But
me.
I think the issue is once that game started and you had two refs, the first game, it doesn't make sense to bring him in anymore for that game specifically. They've already set up the flow of the game. Everybody understands what they're gonna be calling, what they're not gonna be calling, what they can get away with. And then you bring Jose in, and Jose has the problem where like he is legitimately a good ref, but he's a good ref, so he's gonna
Yeah,
call every single call. Jose would hate if he was refing Jose's own game. Jose would hate that because he calls every call. He doesn't really let people get away with things. And that's the reality. You guys get away with a lot, especially on defense. There's a lot of times you guys are fouling that it's just never called. He calls that, and nobody likes that.
yeah,
And that's what I think he should do differently. You don't have to call everything. You know as a player what you hate being called on you. You know realistically, everyone does. Like there's some calls where sometimes you're jumping on a guy and there's some minimal contact there and it alters the shot, but it's never called. He calls that, and I don't think you always have
Listen,
to. I,
incidental contact is not a thing in Jose's book. Contact is contact. It doesn't matter if it was incidental or if it was flagrant. That's a foul. Fuck it.
Foul. No,
Flagrant
I
two.
mean, for me, it was like the emotional side. Like when he kind of got off his pivot and he let people get in his head and he double checked the guy. Like it's just like, this is a men's rec game. Like how many people actually get double checked and tossed out of the men's rec league? Like this is insane. Like
You can't
just the
have it both
emotional
ways
side
Twice
of
though.
I've seen
things.
it now.
You can't have it both
Huh?
ways though. It's either the game's gonna be ref correctly or it's not. So like when it's not, people are gonna complain and call the referees trash. When it is, people are gonna
Yeah,
say it's emotional. So like, what's it gonna be? You either want the referee to call it correctly or you don't want the referee to call it correctly. You're gonna hate it either way. That's what it's gonna come down to. It doesn't
yeah,
matter how the game is called. You're gonna hate it. It's like I never personally understood it. It's like just move on. Just move on. Like you're not making it any easier on yourself. All you're doing is guaranteeing he's gonna blow a whistle again because now he doesn't even like you. He came into this neutral. He could care less. You fouled. He blew the
yeah.
whistle.
You saw what ISO John. You saw what ISO John. Like ISO John said something to him, and it's just like he didn't get that timeout.
Like it's
He
crazy.
didn't deserve that timeout though. He didn't deserve that timeout.
I was trolling.
Also,
I'm
you have
trolling.
to
I'm,
give
I'm trolling.
you have
I'm
to
so trolling.
the other thing
I'm,
about that, you have to give a moment for the ref to call the timeout before you can get the timeout. You were
I'm
out of bounds
trolling.
by the time they caught that. Just in
I'm,
case. There's a lot there. There's so much there we can keep coming back to.
But yeah, that was an eventful game. Definitely something worth watching, man. Y'all make sure y'all go tap into that video. The Elite Guardians versus the Renegades. It was an eventful game to say the least. So definitely worth watching. And don't forget to join the Atleta Club as well while you're at it. Make sure you get an opportunity to win some free prizes. We're going to be giving up some great stuff for the rest of the year, all the way up to December, and then restarting all over again next year. Hopefully next year we can even create a scenario where we can give out more than one thing a month. So we cross our fingers that it works out, but we need y'all support. Join the Atleta Club to make that happen for everybody that likes to support the Atleta Club or the Atleta sports in general. Moving on to two things we'll mention pretty quickly here. The Ace League rosters were announced. We can talk about it if you want, but for the most part, I just want to direct everybody to the Ace League Instagram to go ahead and check that out. A lot of the returning teams, all former Ace League champions, are returning this season, which has not happened in prior season, specifically because of the fiasco with Metro West. If you know, you know. But they've decided to make a return to the Ace League once and for all. Kevin Thompson has finally given in to the, how can I say, I want to say the temptation, and he finally brought the Metro West back into the Ace League. So they're going to be champions from the past returning, and every champion that has the AC has had is returning. Any notable names that you guys wanted to kind of highlight that you recognized from your scanning through the rosters?
Not a
I had
name, but I do want to talk really quickly. We're not just getting Florida teams this year. We're also getting the Knoxville Commerce, which we got to see, and a lot of you guys would have seen when we covered the ABA when we were covering the Royals games. They're
that's
going to
pretty
be in here
fire.
as well.
Oh,
So
this is going
this
to
is
be a
not
big
just into
year.
Florida. And actually, wait, I will talk about a player, Zay. Uh, Jose Melendez. He's going to be playing with the Knoxville Commerce. Somebody that we saw just recently with GM5. A lot of familiar faces if you've tuned in with us in the GM5. Rod Lawrence, Mello, AJ.
Yeah, I think we
And
should
that
go
just off
opening
the top of my
day.
head.
That sounds like a
Not even
party.
looking
I
at a
think we
roster.
should go opening day for sure. I think even if we're not recording, we should show face for sure. I think we should at least show up to like 2 or 3 games and check it out. I think that would
June
be pretty
15th.
dope. It's a big day, it's opening day. Yeah, I'm down. Pencil me in, June 15th. I'm down.
Oh, wait, hold up. It's a Monday. Just keep that in mind. Just in case.
All right.
I might have
Well,
to use some
That's,
PTO.
I mean, they play at night.
Is
They
it in
don't play.
Orlando? Wait, is the Ace League in Orlando?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm
Oh,
down.
this might not be it either. There's a note from the director. Please note that current NBA players aren't able to join rosters until after July 1st, per league
Blake
rule.
Henson. That's the only thing I'm thinking.
Yeah, but he is on the roster as well. Yeah.
Blake Henson.
Yeah, Blake Hinson is on the roster. I forget what team it was. Let me see. I think it was the
But he was with
Juan.
Body Bag, Top Shotters.
Oh, Top Shotters.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta
what it
check
is.
that out. Body
Yeah,
bags
Or
in
Mello.
this as well.
Yeah, Mello. I think is that the team with AJ? No, that's not the team with AJ. That's
no, AJ's on
Pedro's
Pedro's posse. Or no, he's not. No, Rod is in Pedro's posse. Is he in?
No, so is AJ.
So is AJ? Oh yeah. Okay, there you go.
Top
That's a
Shotter has
fire
both of
team.
the Hinsons. It has Mello. It has Keith Clanton. It has a lot of familiar faces as well.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy day or a crazy season in the
Ace
AC.
League.
I didn't get a chance to look through to see if Turbo was coming back. I actually forget what Turbo's full name is. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't know his name. Isaiah Moody. I see him though, and his brother Stephen.
Niven Hart. I always think I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly. Niven. I don't freaking know. He's raw. I think he won the dunk contest. Chad is coming back to the AC again.
He's back.
Chad Brown.
Chad Brown. Yeah, he's coming back to the
Oh, I
AC.
can't wait to see my boy.
He
I'm
was.
definitely gonna pop out the show tonight. I
Both
gotta
of
go see him.
both of them, Turbo and Chad, are both on Pedro's posse.
That was my rival.
Oh,
at one
Turbo's on
point.
Pedro's posse. What's his real name? I forget.
Yeah. You say Niven Hart?
No. That was a separate
Oh.
player. Separate player.
Oh, let me look it up.
Yeah, I forget what Turbo's
I'm new
name.
to Turbo. I apologize.
Yeah, he won the MVP last year, but it's going to be an exciting time in the Ace League. I didn't get a chance to watch any games last year. I know the Ace League took a little bit of a break for a little while there while they recalibrated, but they have returned, ladies and gentlemen, and we are crossing our fingers for an Ace League / Atleta partnership as soon as possible. So we'll see if we can make that happen.
ASAP. No rock.
Um, and then another quick hitter here. The FBA schedule has been released. First game of the season will be in May 31st. I'm going to turn off my camera for a quick second here. But I'm still talking. I'm sorry. May 31st, returning teams, Florida Flight and the Claremont Crocs. And the Volusia Serpents, ladies and gentlemen, will make the return to the FBA this summer as well. And the Alpha Lions, the 2025-26 Winter League E-League champions, that was a mouthful, excuse me, have also entered the FBA. So it's going to be a jam-packed summer in the FBA. May 31st, all games at SEPA or SEPA, Southeastern Prep Academy, whatever you want to call it. Most people will recognize it as the Genesis Health Club because that's what the big sign says. But technically speaking, the school did purchase the gym area, so it is their own section. Sorry if anybody can hear the crazy toddler screaming in the background. I do apologize. I'm trying to keep that under control as much as I can.
I did find Turbo, by the way. He's on Top Shots.
He's on Top Shotters. What's his real name?
Jordan Smith.
Jordan Smith. He's on Top Shotters. That's crazy. Jesus Christ. Top Shot has won the championship last year.
Yeah. Justin, some other names on Pedro's posse: Justin Tucker. We obviously have talked about him. Willie Nunez. There's a lot of people. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, it is. I've been telling you guys for such a long time that the talent that you have been witnessing is nothing compared to what's available out there. The Ace League is what is actually going to show you what talent exists in Central Florida. I mean, we're talking about there was a time in the Ace League where you had Dwayne Bacon and Antonio Blakely battling it out there. You know what I mean? We're talking about two NBA caliber players, two players that were in the NBA. Antonio Blakely, short lived. Bacon a
Still
little
made it.
longer, but you know what I mean. Yeah, exactly. He's an
Even
NBA
making it
caliber
to the
player.
NBA is crazy.
NBA caliber player. Now, who I need Will Lee to tap in with is Austin Rivers, because he be right next door. You know what I mean? Every other day, he be literally down the street from me hooping with randoms at freaking RDV, or it's not called RDV anymore, but that's just how I know it. Um, he be over there every other day hooping, and then going to his office for ESPN. You know what I mean? So like he needs to connect with Austin Rivers and get him in Ace League. That's groundbreaking, because that would probably be off the top of my head, from my personal knowledge of the Ace League, that has to be the biggest player they would have had. That has to be. They almost. Oh, last thing I'll say about the Ace League before I move on, because I kind of went back a step there. They almost they brought Anthony Simons one day. He pulled up to watch, and I assumed that he was planning on playing. He was making his appearance for another day that he was going to play. And that same week, I got a notification on my phone that he signed the $100 million contract with the Blazers. I was like, yeah, I'm never seeing that man again. He's getting on
He
a
never come
jet.
back.
He's getting on a jet today, getting the fuck out of Florida. He's got
Well,
a
who's the player? I'm sorry, I went to use the restroom. Who's the player?
Anthony Simons.
Anthony Simons.
Oh wow,
Because
Yeah,
he's
you
from
had him on your
here.
roster?
he pulled up to the Ace League one year, and I thought he was gonna play, but then that same week he signed a contract with the Blazers, and then I never saw him again.
Yep. Never, never, ever.
He's from this area though. He's from Longwood.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I know
Went
him.
to
There's some other
Edgewater High
people out
School.
here too. Shane Larkin's from out here.
What we're talking about is people that that Will Lee, the director of the Ace League, can tap into to get to the trip to the Ace League.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they can kind of like the vibe it's giving me is what's that thing they do in Cali? The Drew League. It kind of gives you that vibe right now, like a smaller version of it, but
Yeah,
great competitors,
That's what it
NBA
is.
players,
it's
college
Florida's Drew
players.
League.
That's what it
It's
is.
literally Florida's Drew League.
It's a pro-am.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what the AC is. A pro-am.
Like the crossover.
Yeah, that's what
All those.
that's literally what it is. They're smaller, but it's a pro-am. It's the same thing. Um,
Gotcha.
Even the Drew League, they had their moments, but like the Drew League does get a lot of hype because of those moments. They weren't consistently doing that. You know what I mean? Like they weren't consistently getting Kobe Bryant to pull up. You know what I mean? Like they just got really lucky that things worked out for them in that moment. And Kobe was in a place in his life where he wanted to give back to the community, and he really just did it for the love of the community. You know what I mean? Like, he wanted to give them a moment that they can remember for the rest of their lives, and they definitely will. You know what I mean? And LeBron pulling up, all those guys, but.
AD going to Dykeman. Sorry.
On,
Eichmann, man.
Okay.
on a regular
Dykeman.
basis, yeah. On a regular basis, though, the Drew League looks just like the Ace League. They have overseas players and the occasional smaller caliber NBA player. That's how the Drew League looks on a regular basis.
Speaking of other leagues, really quick segue before we move into our next subject. TP is making some big changes with the GM5.
Share
You
with
guys
the
saw
world.
the lockout news?
Yes, I did. I did see the last reviews.
Yeah, so we can't share too many details. Oh. And I think it's a very good marketing opportunity, though. I think it really is a good marketing opportunity because I think GM5 is kind of they're the next league that can kind of take that place where Ace League is at. They're kind of the in between where the Ace League is, like the FBA, and then kind of the other leagues that we kind of focus on. They are taking that next step, and I'm kind of excited for what they're going to do. Can't go into too many specifics, but I can tell you that the structure of the league is going to change. And we're going to kind of post some news in the coming weeks as we get closer. But they are in a lockout for right now while they negotiate some changes. And they are very interesting. Very, very interesting.
I'm excited for whatever the Ace League. I'm sorry, the GM5. We're stuck on the Ace League. I'm excited for whatever the GM5 has to offer going forward, because there's so much potential there. There's so much potential for the
It
GM5 to
is.
really be a really prominent league at that caliber. In all reality, it's the best men's league in the area, and that's really what it is. At the end of the day, it's a men's league. You're talking about, you know, games that last at best 50 minutes. You know what I mean? The running clock, all that stuff. It's a men's league, but it's the most high caliber men's league in the area. So it's a good opportunity, like Tyler said, for marketing, for publicity, and all that stuff. There's no such thing as bad publicity. All publicity is good publicity. So
Okay.
it's it's um, it's exciting to see what the GM5 can turn this lockout into, and hopefully everybody's happy at the end of it, because at the end of the day, GM5 is responsible for a large bulk of our hours, so we need them to come back. All right, just making
Yeah,
sure.
please, please. But make sure you guys tap into the GM5 though, because realistically, if everything that TP is kind of talking about comes to fruition, there's a lot of moving pieces. But if it does come to fruition, they're only a couple of years away from possibly paid opportunities.
Yeah,
So
that'll
I'm
be
which
I'm
dope.
really
is
wanting to
which
think
is
about
dope,
this.
which is really dope for the league and for like people eventually like the GM5 paying people to be a part of their league, and
That's
that's where
crazy.
that's where leagues kind of can get step up. It's sponsorships, people investing. I mean, that's how it's done, and then eventually you can get to a point where you are doing like conversations about like the big three, television conversations, and that's where the real money comes in. And that should be the goal. I think every league should have the mindset of the big three. I feel like that's a really good way to like look at things. Like keep it simple,
Business move.
add some fun to it. You know what I'm saying? Like they added a 4 point line, make it very watchable, and then have great players
Oh,
playing
please no.
basketball.
Wait, who added a 4 point line?
Not the 4 point line though.
Not
I
saying
like that
add
for
the
an All
four
Star
point
game.
line, but like the ABA, they have the D and 3, like something that is like
3D.
3D. My bad. The 3D. My bad. Sorry. The 3D rule, like a rule, like just make up something to like kind of like spice the game up a little
I
bit.
just want to point
Like I
out.
think the three,
I just want to point
yeah,
out very, very commonly, people hate the 3D rule. So just putting that out there.
Yeah.
really, I did not know
Yeah.
that.
This is
But it's a
something
good
that
way to like disparity in games. You have a 10 point game. It's 3 minutes left. A couple 3Ds happen. You have a watchable game now. I think
something
it's more so the disparity of the game.
something that the ABA needs to hear, and I hope somebody in the ABA listens to this, but there are a lot of professional basketball leagues who discredit ABA footage because of the 3D rule.
Really? Wow, that sucks.
Because it's
I didn't
too
know that.
it's
It,
way too gimmicky. It's way too gimmicky.
Gotcha. Well,
It's a
noted.
reality. But back to what I was talking about GM5. Tap in now, especially if your sponsors, advertisers also hit us. We're awesome. But
For sure.
tap in with them because this is an opportunity to get in for maybe a cheaper opportunity at advertising or sponsorship, because the price will go up eventually. As we get bigger, as they get bigger, as anyone grows, that price changes. So keep that in mind.
That
We
is
are
correct.
also for advertisers and sponsors
Get
hard.
get in while you can fit in. That's the motto. Get in while you can fit in. Because soon enough, crossing our fingers, we do everything right. It's gonna be a situation where we have to now pick and choose. Same for GM5. You know what I mean? Now we're gonna have to choose. Now you gotta have to bid for this because we don't got the time to offer for a commercial or for a flyer or for whatever the case is. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? You got to call them people 3 years in advance. Listen, Super Bowl 2029. I want a commercial. All right, just book us for it right now. You know what I mean? Like
We're
that's
already
what
going
And
we.
through
you're
that right
paying
now.
and you're paying $1 million for that commercial. So
A million is
eventually
a
it'll be a
million is
million
lowball.
dollars.
A million is
Yeah,
lowball.
Yeah,
that's
nah.
low.
Yeah,
They're paying like 50.
they're paying a lot
50
of money.
mil? Wait,
It's a
one
big
commercial?
advertising slot.
I don't think
That's
it's
one of the
50.
biggest advertising slots in America.
I did not know it was 50 mil.
It's not average 50, but people have paid 50.
That's insane.
Let's see. How
That's
much does a Super Bowl commercial cost?
random facts brought to you by Hooptalk the podcast.
Yeah,
Super
Super Bowl
Bowl.
26
ads
million is the
themselves.
most.
Yeah, Super Bowl ads themselves become spectator, blah, 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 deeper, true, blah, blah, blah. The cost of a 30-second and ad grew from $37,000 in 1967 to $8 million in 2026. Uh, over what is that? Over, what does that say? Oh, over $266,000 per second.
That's crazy.
But enough about the Super Bowl, though.
Crazy.
We're not here. We're not paid advertisers. We're not here for that. Moving on. Technically speaking, though, that's a bad segue because we are going to talk about the NBA now, and we're also not paid advertisers for them either. But either way, it is the Hoop Talk podcast, and we'll finish up by scrambling up some topics about the NBA. Nothing crazy. I mean, unfortunately, we're in the playoffs. My Lakers were swept as I probably would have personally anticipated. I did hope we could snag one win. Um, but I mean, we don't have our best player, one of the best players in the world, out there, and I think the series definitely could have been different if we did. Hmm.
I
But
think
LeBron though stepped up a lot. I will absolutely say that LeBron did not play like a 41-year-old man.
Has he
LeBron
ever?
played
yeah.
like no,
Listen,
which is kind of
LeBron.
ridiculous.
LeBron hasn't played like a 41-year-old man since he turned 41.
He's been playing like he's 35.
He's going out there and
Ah,
he's playing very well
I'd argue. I
out
know
there.
some 35-year-olds are bums in the NBA right now. Let me tell you that right now. I'd
He's
argue
playing better than KD.
there's 28-year-olds in the league right now that probably cannot lead a team like LeBron could. There's 25-year-olds that probably couldn't do it. Like LeBron is something else. But Lakers got swept, unfortunately. So hopefully we can just move on from that topic. Next team, um, Spurs versus Wolves. That just finished a couple days ago. The Spurs finished the Wolves in terrible fashion. Nice little blowout. I think they won by like 30 something. I think maybe 20 high 20s maybe. I don't know. But that was one hell of a turn of events for the Wolves. They were not able to pull up a fight, and they lost that series in six, much to the displeasure of Ant. You guys were talking about earlier. You guys want to mention that real quick? See what the people think about it.
So when the game
Uh,
ended, keep in mind the Spurs
but
beat them by 30. I'm just gonna set the stage and then you could say it. The Spurs beat them by 30. The coach took his players out with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Like all the starters were taken out. So Ant goes over to the Spurs bench. He daps him up. He says everyone had a good game. Mind you, all the starters are out of the game, and people are having like a frenzy about it. But like, you took us all out. You called the game. There's no way you continue this game. And you took all the starters out with 8 minutes to go, and we're also down by 30. I don't think it was that crazy.
There's basketball
yeah.
etiquette, though. There's a culture that you build within these organizations. You could say that when you're talking about a men's league. You could say that when you talk about the GM5 or something, where there's no culture being built, but there's a culture you build within these organizations. That's why they're worth billions of dollars. They can't just operate off of just everybody does whatever they want. You know what I mean? So there's an etiquette to it at the end of the day. And from a player to team relationship aspect, that's poor etiquette in my personal opinion. And I don't know what people are saying because I just heard of it today when you guys mentioned it. But if anybody thinks it was in poor taste to do that, I do agree.
I don't. No, nobody from the Timberwolves has said that. This is fans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. If the fans think it's in poor taste, then yeah, I also agree. Nobody from the Timberwolves should. That should never be something that comes out. If they believe it was in poor taste, it needs to be handled privately. If it leaks, it leaks, but that has to be private. That has to be a conversation between him and
You know
the
it
GM.
will.
Yeah.
You know it'll come out. I
if
can't wait.
if it leaks, it leaks, but that has to be a private conversation. He needs to go into an office and talk to somebody who's like, hey, that's not what we're about. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to give that impression that, you just don't give a fuck and you're just going to go dap everybody up. The game's not even over. We're not even doing our greeting lines yet like we normally would. Like, that's not a common thing. Nobody does that. So, like, for you to do that, it's in poor taste.
Yeah, I mean, my thing on it, I think we all know that, like, I think we all know people who, I'm one of those people who get away with it because their personality, like, brights up rooms. We all know a person who's allowed to kind of, like, bend the rules a little bit. Either there's always been players who are allowed to kind of bend the rules and kind of move the way they want to move. Kobe is a good person to bring up. Kobe moved how he wanted to move. He'd go after games and not want to buck with the other team at all. Like, we're still in a playoff game. Why are we talking to these guys? Like, everybody's different, you know. LeBron was more of the guy. Like, I might have a quick chat with someone after the game, real quick. Like, hug out. Like, yeah, I hope you're doing good. He kind of brought that friendly bro. That's my bro basketball AAU vibe to it. But I think Ant is a competitor at the end of the day. That's number one I want to say. Number two, he kind of moves the way he wants to move. The organization's not going to tell someone to, especially their best player, like, oh, that was bad taste or not. Especially when he gave it all they had during these playoff runs. He played with an injury. I do believe there is a time and place for everything. But I think he moves the way he wants to move. If my coach is taking me out the game, and he's had instances where he's challenged his coaching staff on certain things. Maybe he didn't want to get taken out of the game. Maybe he just wanted to be able to like end the series on the floor and kind of give that dap up to Wemby on the court. Maybe that's how he wanted to go out. So instead of going out the way the Timberwolves wanted to go out, which is a selfish move, but he also is allowed to kind of he's the beat of his own drum. I mean, Obama pulled up on Ant. Like this guy has an amazing personality. He's a good dude. So like at the end of the day, I think some people get the opportunity to kind of do whatever the fuck they want, and he's one of those players that is allowed to. You don't ever see Ed come to a game in a suit and tie. He's
I don't think.
sagging.
I don't think that's the case though. I don't think Ant gets to do whatever he wants. I just don't think it's public whenever they have a talk with him. Like that's all it is to me. It's the same way as
But
like, it's the same way as Draymond Green. You would think Draymond Green is just allowed to go out there and do whatever he wants because he keeps doing it. But Draymond Green gets fined. He gets talked to every single time. But it doesn't have to be public news every time though. That's the thing. Like
for sure, I
you
agree
don't
with you on that. I don't think there ever will be with players like that.
Exactly. So I don't think Ant gets to do whatever he wants. I think it's just not public that he's having a talk. Now I don't think he's gonna get fined or anything. I don't think it's that degree. But conversations need to be had. At the end of the day, when you have $1 billion organization, it's because you are worried about the smallest intricacies. You don't make $1 billion without being that
Yeah,
nitpicky in your life, or else your entire corporation will crumble. Because you give a person an inch and they're going to take a mile, and that's how it works at any real job, workplace, whatever the case is. We've all seen it. We've had coworkers that go through that same thing. We may have been that coworker or that worker ourselves that was given an inch and takes a mile, whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not saying I don't think it's a fine type of thing, but teams do, which is a topic I'd love to talk about real quick. But teams do fine for anything they want to fine for. That's completely at their discretion. Even
yeah.
coaches have the power to decide what a player can and cannot get fined for, which I'd love to talk about that once we're done with the playoffs. But um, to me, it's not about him. Like I don't think he needs to get in trouble or oh my god, Ant is bad for the culture. I don't think it's that drastic. The only thing I'm saying is like the team is in their right to say, Ant, come here. Let's talk. Come into my office. Let's discuss that. We're not a fan. Can we not do that again? I think that's fair. I think that's a fair conversation to have with him.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
we're not about
But
to fine
also,
you. We're not about to put you in trade talks. It's like we get it. You were mad. You just wanted to send a message like, okay, whatever. The game's over. Then I'm gonna act like it's over. You know what I mean? That's the message he's trying to deliver. There's a better way to do that. Can we work on that next time? Let's be better.
also just a quick little subject, little side note. This is happening right now with Milwaukee and Giannis. Miles Turner is like airing them out for some reason about all the times that Giannis just doesn't show up for shit and all the times he's late and how Doc doesn't do anything.
You
That's
saw
part.
that?
That's part of what I wanted to discuss. That same Miles Turner conversation was with Brianna
Yeah,
Stewart, right?
yeah,
Yeah. That's the
yeah,
one. The topic that I want to mention is from that same podcast episode. Yeah.
yeah. They're really losing their what they built over there. They're really using their identity because they're just letting Giannis do anything, like anything.
That's that
And
play.
that's what happens. It changes the entire perspective of the team. Why am I going to go out of my way to try extra hard when like their star player who isn't even guaranteed going to stick around here? Like every other day, there's rumors about him leaving. Doesn't give a fuck. Why would I care?
I have a feeling that's a more recent thing though, because I don't think he wants to be there anymore. Which I'm not agreeing with him. Once again, not the right way to handle things. But these players are stubborn, got big egos. I think he might be doing that more often now that he's in a situation he's unhappy with. You know what I mean? But there is also a chance he was doing it before. I don't know. I have no clue. Miles Turner is new. You know what I mean? He has no clue. He has no clue if Giannis has been doing this for the last 5, 6, 7 years. So I don't know. But I understand why he's doing it. I don't agree with it though. I don't agree. I think you have
He's
to
an
set
inside
an
agent. Miles
yeah.
Turner.
You have to set an example and all that good stuff. But one thing that I wanted to mention real quick though, that from that same podcast episode, is Brianna Stewart made a crazy comment, um, or stated a fact about her team. She was saying their head coach fines them for not boxing out at the free throw line.
I like that.
One
Her
hundred
current
percent.
head coach or previous?
I don't
Because
know
That's
which
Sandy,
very
one.
I
I
think
don't
Sandy's
fireable.
remember.
someone who would do that.
I don't remember which one. I
They
don't remember.
should. That's effort. You're not putting an effort.
I like that. I actually like that a lot. I think NBA teams should do that too. I think we would have better
I,
rebounding numbers.
yeah, I bet you
No, they
that's what they
might
used to do in
though. They
Detroit. That's
might.
why Andre Drummond.
Like Jaron Jackson might average a double double. Like he might actually go out there and you know what I'm saying, try.
Well, hold up. Jared Jackson is he's great at boxing out. He's amazing at it. They're not going to do that.
Yeah,
Just like Brooke
he's good
Lopez.
at boxing out. He just
They're
doesn't
one of
get
the
the
best.
rebound himself. But
Yeah.
the
But
Grizzlies,
every team he's on will rebound better.
yeah, the Grizzlies are always a good rebounding team because of him. But either way, I don't want to get too into that. What I was gonna say is a lot of things that teams do we'll never know about, and I respect the fuck out of that because you want to keep a lot of stuff internal because the world doesn't need to know how you manage your business. You know what I mean? Because you're basically giving out the blueprint to success. You know what I mean? So you
Yep.
look at the New York Liberty. I'm assuming she's talking about the Liberty. I don't know. I don't know. I'm assuming she's talking about a recent coach. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole episode, just a little clip. And we're talking about the Liberty, who have been a consistently successful team, right? With Sabrina and Brianna, at the head of that snake. There's a culture that has to be built in order for a team to be that successful. There is a precedence that has to be set, and that comes from all the way up to the team owner who's worth $1 billion, to the head coach who makes $5 million. You know what I mean? To the guy at the end of the bench on a two-way contract making $250K a year. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. The culture has to be built at a level, and I agree with Tyler. I love that type of stuff. But what I wanted to say originally is the fact that we actually have no clue what these teams do for the sake of their culture, for the sake of their brand, for the sake of building that camaraderie within their organization. Um, there's a chance many NBA teams probably adopted the same idea. There's a chance we'll never know.
Yeah.
We have to be
That's
told.
true.
And right now we're
That's
being
true.
told by Miles Turner that the Bucks don't do that. That's what
Exactly.
we're being told.
Well,
But some
Doc's
teams,
a
some
player
teams, I
coach.
know they do.
That's why he,
Yeah.
he probably didn't find people. He's a player coach.
And that's
He's
not enough
always
because I bet
there.
you the Spurs are very good at managing personalities, and I bet you they also will find people.
That culture is also one of the most rarest cultures you can ever see an organization have. There's
So
there's no one
I
quite
can see
like
the
the Spurs.
Warriors do that. I can see the Celtics. Like, there's a lot of teams that they're all of their guys put in effort,
Yeah.
and you can tell. Like, I bet you the Lakers don't do this.
I'm pretty
Well, maybe
sure the
now with
Celtics don't
AD,
have to find their players. Joe Mazzulla just looks at him in the eyes and they're just like, yes, sir.
starts quoting the town.
He probably reaches in, grabs their soul, and is just like, if you keep playing with me,
I'm gonna fuck you up.
burn your
Yeah.
house down. Lies.
But the last two things that we want to cover before we head out is the last two series that we haven't mentioned. One being one that ended, which, if I'm not mistaken, the Knicks, they swept, right? The Sixers? Was that a 4-0?
Yeah,
That's another sweep in the second round. Crazy how competitive the first round was, and then in the second round we got two sweeps. Um, but luckily for us, we do have a game seven. But that sweep was crazy. I think. Mm, who did the Knicks? No, that was the Hawks. Okay, never mind. That was the Hawks. The Hawks were the team that they obliterated. Sorry. Okay, but they did sweep the Sixers. Unfortunately, I don't have many thoughts about that. Did you guys have anything you wanted to kind of insert on that?
I just think Joel Embiid was kind of running out of gas at the end, and
Yeah, he was
like
out of
it
shape.
was too much for them. It's so unfortunate watching him because he's such a great player when he plays and he plays often. Now he a little bit more often at times, but his body just can't keep up with him anymore. I think his injuries have just ruined him.
Yeah,
We'll never get to see what he really could have been, and I think he would have been the best center or one of the best centers ever. Like he
same.
could have been a top five center all time.
I agree. He just looked gassed,
DJ's
bro. He looked gassed like in the beginning of games, like off the dribble, he's gassed. Like it's bad. It's really bad. Like he's so gassed, and I know this is how I know he's tired. He's fouling so early in games, so fast, where they're taking him out at like the 8 minute, which is like that's when things get going. Within that first quarter, that's where rhythms are found. And he's He can't keep up with VJ. He can't keep up with Tyree's speed. It's just not a good fit for him. Like, and I don't think he's like a dinosaur now, kind of in a way too, as well. No one's really posting up in the middle no more, unless you're let's say the name, unless you're that guy from Denver,
Jokic.
and
Jokic. Say it
Jokic.
with me.
Unless you're
Jokic.
Jokic, and you're that guy. Like people really aren't doing the mid posting no more, and or it's the playoffs, or if the playoffs, and he's just not able. He's not durable no more, man. He's just you can't
I don't
trust
think
him.
he fits that team anymore. I don't think having Tyrese Maxey and VJ play at a very accelerated rate. They are very fast with the ball, very fast in their positions, and it's hard to play with Embiid, who has to play a little slower. He's primarily in the post. He's not as quick as he used to be. Like it's hard. I think that Philly just has to, face reality now
I'm
and
gonna
move
trade
on
him.
from Embiid.
Yeah,
And
I
Try to get some
agree.
draft.
and also, you also have to move on from PG as well. That $50
Yeah,
million contract is a lot, and he really only had 3 good halves, I would say.
he did play better this
He
year,
had a
though.
good
I will say
first.
that.
He had a good first series. I'm bugging. He had a good first series.
Yeah, but I agree. They need to move on from both, one way or another. Maybe not at the same time. Maybe you gradually make those moves, but um, it's not even about a skill thing. It's just Joel Embiid's health is just it's hindered him at such high levels. It's unlikely to expect a high caliber basketball from him on a consistent basis. You know what I mean? He's gonna give you some great games, but I feel like Joel Embiid has reached that point of post Miami Heat championship Shaq. Like right after that championship with the
Man,
Miami Heat, that's when you start seeing the Shaq. It's like you're big and you're dominant, but like man, you're slow and you're slouchy. You dominate the game, but like your dominance doesn't impact the game. That's kind of
yeah,
how
it's like
that's
empty calories. Empty
yeah.
calories.
It's what Shaq kind of went through, where it's like, yeah, sure, you can give him the ball in the post, and he's probably gonna score, but like every time you do that, it's becoming less and less impactful now because we're not getting enough from you in other areas. And I think Embiid's injuries just have become too much for him. Um, so it's not a skill thing. I think Embiid is one of the most skilled big men this industry has ever seen, but man, he's just one of the most injury prone players the league has ever seen too, and that's really hindering him. So I think they need to move on. And I mean, I don't know where Embiid would fit at this point because of you know what these injuries have done to him, but cross our fingers that we can still see some good basketball from Embiid, and hopefully, as a lesser player or as a lesser role, he can impact winning somewhere else. But it's gonna be rough for him. It's gonna be tough.
I don't know where he can go next. Oh,
Yeah, it's tough. Injuries really do ruin careers, man. But one player that's definitely making a name for himself right now is Cade Cunningham. I think Cade Cunningham, for the most part, has had a phenomenal playoffs. I think he shows up almost every single night. He may have had one or two bad games, but even when those games don't look great, he just seems to be the one player that's just constantly doing his hardest to win a game. You know what I mean? Where I feel like the other Pistons players, shockingly, aside from Tobias is playing pretty well. But other than that, it's like the Pistons
Nice
took it to
hips.
Game 7. Yeah, Tobias Harris is playing pretty good.
no, he's having a good offensive series, but he's getting ate alive on defense.
That's
Every
been the
time I
case for a
see
long
James
time, though.
Harden, once James Harden gets that switch onto Tobias, it's a score every time, every single time. Either
So
a
are they
foul,
picking on him pretty much? Are they doing like the
yeah,
Steph Curry thing?
they are
Where they
absolutely
like,
picking on them, man.
Yeah.
man,
They're absolutely picking
But
on
they're such a good defensive team. We're picking on him, and isn't to me, it's not as valuable of a decision because you will get the help, you will get the rotations needed to minimize the impact of that bad defense, in my personal opinion. But I agree, he not the best on the defensive end. But overall, I think the Pistons. I don't know how to explain it. I think the Pistons are successful just off of the pure grit of their game. I think they just play at a pace where it's like we're not gonna give up. We're just gonna always play hard. And if you at any point take your foot off the gas, we win. Like you got to keep your foot on the gas. If you try to slow down, if you try to stop, you got to run the red light. If not, we are, and we're gonna get to the finish line because them boys play so hard. But one thing I wanted to bring up about the Pistons, they took it to Game 7, which is the summary of that. But I feel like I don't know if what they have right now is a sustainable core. I think Asar's inability to impact the game offensively consistently is going to be troublesome for them. I don't think players who are primarily there to play defense succeed for a long time. I think they kind of lose it after a few years. He's going to be good for a while because he's so young, but if he doesn't
And
develop
athletic.
some caliber of an offensive game, I don't know if he's this. I don't know if he plays this role for much longer. Does that make sense? Jalen Duren
Yeah.
is another one. He has a
I think
chance.
Jalen Duren's their issue.
Jalen Duren is an issue. A stat that I saw, it could have changed because I saw this stat before Game 6, so it could have changed. But the stat that I saw is out of out of all the players in the playoffs this year, 70 something players, I think is what the number was, had at least one second chance bucket. At least one second chance bucket, right? So offensive board into a bucket. Jalen Duren, who was the fourth leading second chance point scorer in the NBA during the regular season, has zero in the playoffs. Zero second chance
Yeah.
points. He is a top
Disappeared.
5 player in this category, but he has a zero, a big O in the playoffs.
I do.
That's
I do
insane.
want to say something about that. Players like
Yeah.
that, like players that are effort players, um, once you scheme on them, they kind of do. That's what happens to them. They kind of lose their edge on what they do to the team. Like Birdman, like players like that, like Kenneth Fareed. Like eventually, it doesn't become hard to like JJ Hickson's. It doesn't become hard to guard it. It's just an effort thing. Like that's what his game is. He's an effort player at like the highest degree, and that's what that stat is. It's an effort stat. So he's probably running into double teams. He's running into people meeting him earlier when he tries to rebound. So I'm not saying
But
it's not his fault, but I am saying like they're planning against him, and he has a one wrinkle game. He doesn't really do anything else but effort plays, and
that's the thing. That's
But the
not.
issue is they relied on him all season, and now he's
yeah.
not showing up. Like this is the time to critique.
Yeah, and he's not on the same caliber as Kenneth Reed and JJ Hickson, especially not JJ Hickson. Let's not do that. Who
He's
the
an
fuck,
all-star.
the fuck is JJ Hickson? But he's not on that caliber. Like he's a 19
No, I'm
points per
saying
game.
his play style. I'm not saying the caliber. I'm saying the play
But you
style.
can't score
what he
19
brings
points
to
per
the
game
table.
off of effort only. Like he is contributing in other ways in the regular season, but he's not able to contribute in those ways now. Like he was getting post ups, he was getting pick and rolls, like he was getting
Yeah, but
opportunities to score.
Now
take
he can't
away
even
3
catch the ball.
offensive rebound putbacks, he goes from
But
19
Pluto,
points down to 13 points.
he can't
Like
even catch the ball right now. His hands are made of rubber right now. They're
all,
buttering.
all I'm saying is, this is all I'm saying is, you take away 4 offensive rebounds that could be 4 putbacks away from his average, and you're looking at a player who's really only averaging 12 points off meaningful, great offensive plays, which is still decent, but that's not a starting NBA center. You know,
12,
I
13
don't
points per
think it
game. Of
is.
course it is. What the hell? What are you talking about?
13
But
points, I think it is.
it's not a
like
star
Jakob
player.
Poeltl.
That might be what you're trying to say. It's not a star player, but of course that's a starting caliber center. What do you mean? But my point is, like 13 points per game is something that the Pistons would love to get from him right now. That's the point I'm trying to make.
You're getting 12.
They would love to get to 13 points per game. They're getting 10. That's the point I'm trying to make. They're getting 10 points per game from a guy who averaged 19 in the regular season. So
I was looking at the Magic
this isn't
stats now.
about his effort plays, not or his effort play, because he was contributing offensively in other ways. He was always a problem in other ways. The effort obviously is something the Pistons, in my opinion, just do overall as a team. They're a great effort team. They do a good job of playing hard. But he's just not contributing in any ways that he was contributing in the regular season. Like to the point where I don't even know if, yeah, even his rebounding looks like it probably went down because he averaged
It did.
eight and a half in the
Averaging
playoffs.
7.
Yeah, 8.5 in the playoffs, 10.5 in the regular season. Like even his rebounding is going down like that, and 2 rebounds per game is for a rebounder is significant. That's kind of the same difference as going from a 25 points per game score to an 18 points per game score. I feel like that's almost a similar significance. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like going from a 19 point per game score to a 10 point per game score.
Yeah, exactly.
So the same thing.
All I'm saying is when most of those plays are effort plays because that's an effort stat.
Oh god.
I mean, I'm not saying that he's not showing the effort. I'm just saying they're game planning for him a lot more, I think, than they were during the regular season, and it's showing that he doesn't have anything else he can really do. Like he doesn't
But
have
the
another
issue
move.
is we're realizing he's an all-star, and we kind of expect all stars to adjust to the adjustments that are made to
Yeah,
them, and he's not. And now we recognize that, and I think now the Pistons are in a spot where they have to realize, is this really the guy that we want to pair up with Cade going forward and be his secondary star, or do we have to look elsewhere? And they have $30 million tied up in Tobias Harris, which is going away this season, so they are going to have some money, and they're going to have to make a change. I think they have to move on from Ron Holland as well. I don't think you can have Asar Thompson and Ron Holland who both can't shoot. Like neither of
yeah.
them. And I think Asar is way too valuable to move on from right now. He
He
at
his
least has
ceiling
some
is
ball handling
crazy.
ability. He can at least
Yeah,
pass. He can cut very well. We've seen how athletic he is. Ron
great
Holland
defender.
is a great player, but I don't think he's as good as Asar, and I don't think he will be right now. Asar just looks amazing. So I think you have to figure out who are you going to spend $30 million on to bring in.
It is
Who
going.
is the
That
free
guy's an
agent?
awesome. It's Austin Reeves.
I mean, that's not a bad pairing. I actually kind of like that a lot,
I don't think it's a bad pair either
especially
with
in
the
the
defense
East.
that they have in Detroit.
Yeah, that's actually a really good spot.
But
I
Austin
usually
Reeves is a known playoff disappear,
Austin Reeves for
underperformer.
Jalen Duren.
No, I wouldn't trade Jalen. They'd be stupid to trade Jalen Duren. I think so.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's about getting rid of the player. I think it's about using him in a different capacity and finding a player to replace the capacity you wanted from him. I never, and I don't know if anybody remembers, but I've never believed in Jalen Duren. I said it from the beginning. I don't think he's that type of player. Like to me, and I remember asking the question, like, do you guys really think this is who he's supposed to be? Like, I don't like. To me, he is not, because I don't know. I feel like when you love basketball so much and you watch it for so long, it's like you develop this sixth sense. These players just give off a vibe. You know what I mean? Like if you're him, you're just him. That vibe is just there. You know what I mean? Like, and Jalen Duren just never struck me as a guy who's supposed to be a top three option on a
him.
team to score. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's
Yeah,
it's just not what I believe he's meant to do. Um, but I think he can impact the game at such a high level doing all the other things. I think he can rebound at a great level. I think he can shot block at a great level. He's a great rim
yeah.
runner. You know what I mean? I think he
I
can
think he'll
impact the
block well
game.
at all. I think he's actually bad defensively. I think he's
I was
Oh,
bad.
about to ask, how's his
He's been.
defense?
oh, I didn't know that.
I,
No,
I've
news.
talked about it the last time we were talking about Jalen Duren. I don't think he's ever been a good defender in the NBA.
No, that's unfortunate. Well, never mind. I don't want him on the Lakers anymore. But
That's unfortunate.
but yeah, I mean, either way, I just don't think he's the guy. Now, the Pistons are great though. You know what I mean? They're great. I just Um, let's assuming they advance, they're gonna struggle. I think the Knicks are on a hot streak right now. They're feeling it. They're gonna struggle. I,
I think
I
they beat the Knicks.
I do think they beat the Knicks, but I think they're gonna struggle. I don't think it's gonna be an easy series for either team. But I think they can lose that. Like I don't think it's unheard of for either of those teams to advance to the finals. I think it's pretty okay if either of those teams advance. I wouldn't be too shocked to see which way it goes there.
Advance to their loss is what we should be saying. Whoever
Yeah,
comes out the East is going into the wood chipper.
exactly. So.
Yeah, we're going sudden death.
But the Pistons definitely have to make some changes, I think. But they can't make too many drastic changes because then you're gonna fuck up everything you're building. You know what I mean? So like, they gotta find pieces little by little that will slightly improve them as they go along. You know what I mean? And I think even the Spurs are a really good example of that. Like just every year of Wemby's career, let's just incorporate more and more until we finally feel comfortable to make a push. And then we can finally tell these kids, hey man, go win some basketball games now. We're not tanking anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I think the Pistons have to make those gradual decisions and keep this top three seed status. Because if they're a 6 seed next year, you know what I mean. Now we're talking about bust. You know what I mean. Now we're talking about one hit wonders. So they got to keep that top three seed status in order to continue and add pieces slowly. So we'll see what it is. But Game 7 is it today?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
it's at 8. I
Game
got Pistons. I'm telling
Game
you right now
7.
before you even ask. I got Pistons.
There you go. Game 7 is today. This episode should be airing at 6 o'clock. So right around the time this episode ends, the game will be starting within the next 20 minutes or so. So let us know in the comment section right now if you tuned in this far. Who do you think is going to take Game 7, Pistons or Cavs? I got the Pistons. What do you guys have? What is your take, Pluto?
I'm gonna ride with my Cavs. I really do want them to win, so I can be able to talk shit to you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cavs.
What do you mean ride with your Cavs? This
Right.
is the first time I've ever heard you say that.
I'm a
You're
LeBron
not a
fan. I'm
Cavs
a
fan.
LeBron fan. Okay, remember
LeBron's on the
that.
Lakers.
Hey,
He was a Cavalier.
any of y'all podcast faithfuls remember when Pluto was a Lakers fan last year, trying to tell me he's a Lakers fan now? Like this man,
LeBron fan.
whoever it takes for him to
I
get
do. I
to
do
get a
have
win.
breaking news though. I've already committed to this, and I hate that I've committed to this. When LeBron retires, I will be a Magic fan, and I've decided that I've chosen a life of mediocrity and disappointment, and I'm okay with it because I've made a lot of decisions that decided that, for me to be a Magic fan. So I will be
I
a
don't even
Magic
tell
fan when he
people
retires.
I'm an OKC fan, even though I swapped before they even got good. But I don't even tell people that.
I
And
will be
Nas,
a
you were there
Magic
part of
fan.
that conversation
He
where
mentions
I said
this
I'm
once
switching
a
for the
week.
Wizards
He mentions this
every
shit
time.
once a week. He
He
Because I
does.
want you to know
He
when I
does do
start
that.
celebrating
He
that
wants.
OKC wins, it's because I've been a fan of them.
When you talk about you don't
What's
tell
I
worse,
just
nobody.
start
Nas?
outing it.
You talk
What's
about
worse, Nas? OKC Tyler or Pacers Orlando? Which one do you
Pacers
hate more?
Orlando without a shadow of a
Because that was
doubt.
bullshit. You weren't even
What the
saying that they
fuck?
were going to win until they won.
Yeah, Tyler was actually saying that before they were winning. Your ass couldn't. As soon as you saw them have a good game, I was like, "Oh, I'm on the Pacers side." There you go. Like what? No,
In the first round.
no, not the
No,
first
that was like
round.
the that
Not
was
the first
once he
round.
that was like the second round.
That was the conference
So what? I
finals.
rode him to the game 7 of the championship
That was the
game. My
conference
predictions were
finals.
right after that second round. So what? I'll take it.
Listen, that's
That's the
all we
prediction
got,
right.
ladies and gentlemen. Pluto's on some bullshit, so we gotta cut the cord. All right, cut the mics. That's it.
Definitely Pacers Orlando.
Join the Atleta Club, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, we got some great giveaways for the rest of the year coming up. So make sure you join the Atleta Club. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share with everybody you know so they have a chance to win. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're here this late, leave a comment section letting us know who you got, Pistons or Cavs, Game 7 tonight. We're out of here. Deuces.
Deuces. I need like